Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished Spurs 4, West Ham 1. Absolute fucking shambles from West Ham today. I was going to say from start to finish. That would be a bit of a lie. From the start of the second half to the full-time whistle. Absolutely horrendous. From the dugout to the players involved, the players that came on. Every single person, not one person, comes out of that second half with credit. I think some players had an okay game overall because they did well in the first half. But that was horrific. Absolutely fucking shit. That there was nothing at all. There was no clue from the manager, and up until Kudus, there was no fight from the players whatsoever. It was that bad. I was almost not celebrating. I could understand why Kudus decided to lump someone. I just wish he'd done it a little bit harder, and it was worth taking the red card for. Stupid thing for Kudus to do. But I was almost pleased to see somebody as pissed off as I was, because I was getting a little bit concerned that nobody out on the pitch for West Ham gave a fuck today. That was not good at all. The first half for West Ham was almost like prime Moyes ball. The second half from West Ham was prime Avram Grant. That was something I'd expect from Moyes' reign when he knew he was going, when he had just given up because he knew it was the end of his tenure. That was horrific out there in the second half. We got in at halftime 1-1, and I think Spurs were the better team in the first half, but it was 1-1. Do something. No, it does fucking nothing. It comes out in the second half when we got absolutely battered out there. It was 4-1, and do you know something? I think that was kind on us. It could have been 5 or 6 out there for Tottenham today. Dreadful. Really, really bad from West Ham. I'm going to try and discuss some of the highlights, actually, in a calmer manner. I've got some notes to try and keep me on track. But fan cams, if you want to send in your reaction to the game, you can do. You just need to record it on your phone. There's a link in the description below. It says fan cams. Just click on it, load it up. It'll tell you how to record it on your phone landscape, send it, and we'll put it up on YouTube if you want to have your say. We made it 1-0. Mohammed Kudus scored. At this point, though, we didn't know this was as good as it was going to get, but Kudus scored his second chance of the game. Bowen, good ball in the first time. Kudus on his right foot, decent save by Vicario. The second one, he sort of scuffs it a little bit, hits it into the ground, goes past Pedro Porro into the back of the net. 1-0 West Ham. And I'll be honest with you, I was enjoying it at this point. I thought we were defending quite well. And when I said prime Moyes ball, I wasn't joking. It was like we were playing like how David Moyes used to set us up. Sit back, low block, try and get them on the counter-attack and use our best attackers, Bowen and Kudus, linking up well going forward. And that was okay. It was working. We were 1-0 up. And then Tottenham made it 1-1 through Kulusevski. Paqueta, he should be stronger. And the worst thing is, it's not even the 4 goals we conceded today, 2 of them, he's the one that gives the ball away. Just weak as piss. He'd go on to get a stupid yellow card because he gave the ball away again. And this time he had to get back and concede a yellow card on the halfway line to make up for his dilly-dallying on the ball. He was dreadful. Paqueta was crap today. He was absolutely crap. And this one is on, as much as it's on Paqueta, do you know what? It's on the manager, because it's, how many games do you need to see before you decide this guy's head's not in the game, really? Paqueta's got a lot going on off the pitch. It might be his fault. It might not be his fault. Uncle Bruno's fault. Hey, he was all right. I bet you Uncle Bruno was fucking buzzing when Paqueta lost the ball and had to bring down Brennan Johnson. Could almost hear the cheers from Paqueta Island. Bet we were panicking. Oh, fuck. How much has that one cost us? Best thing for West Ham today was Uncle Bruno made a few quid out of that game. Possibly, allegedly. But he was absolutely piss poor. But it's got to the point where, while I get angry at Paqueta, I'm more angry at the inclusion of Paqueta. I think, well, this is what we've seen pretty much every game this season. He was slightly better against Ipswich, but he was still one of our worst players on the pitch, in my opinion. He's not been at it for a long time. And you can go back to before this season. You could go to last season when Paqueta didn't look like he was at it. But put that to one side, clean start, pre-season, new manager. Let's see what he's got. He's still not been at it. We've tried stuff. He's gone away with Brazil. He's come back. And since the start of the season till now, things have only got worse. The FA investigation has only got stronger. The publicity has only got stronger. Fucking crap. Halftime, 1-1. Right. we were in the game. It was 1-1. I think some players were looking good, right? In the first half, I'm going to put my frustrations to one side a second here. There were some players looking good in the first half. But Wan-Bissaka, bar his strange pass when he did a really good tackle and just lofted it into the danger zone. Apart from that, I thought Wan-Bissaka was looking good. I thought Emerson was looking good. I thought Bowen was looking lively. I thought Kudus was looking lively. I was pleased. I thought Rodriguez was having a good game. I think there was a few players in the first half playing well for us. So when we went in at 1-1, I thought, right, I think Spurs have been the better team. But I've always been a little bit stubborn, refusing to give Lopetegui credit for making subs when things go wrong. So against Chelsea, we're 2 goals down after half an hour, and he takes off Rodriguez. And I refuse to give him credit for that sub. No, you're fixing your fuck up. I will acknowledge that you've seen you made a mistake and you're trying to correct it. But I'm certainly not going to applaud you and say, well done, Lopetegui. Well done on your fuck up, but also well done on fixing it. I ain't doing that. I'm waiting. I've been waiting because doing subs when you're losing is easy to do. Things aren't going well. That's easy to do subs. When you earn your salt as a manager making substitutions, are when you're drawing and you make subs to win the game, or you're winning and you make subs to see out the game. Those ones are slightly harder to do. Knowing when to pull the trigger and just which substitutions to do. So we're going 1-1 at halftime. Come on then, Lopetegui. Let's see these subs. You're happy to make early subs when you get it wrong. Now let's make early subs today to try and go on and win this game. Because while it's 1-1, we've got away with it a little bit in the first half. Spurs were the better team in the first half. So you're going to have to change something. What you can't do is continue this for 45 because you're probably going to get punished for it. Now, if we got worse, but let's give them benefit of the doubt and say we continue to do what we did. But while he was doing that, Mr. Stubborn in the other dugout, the manager who's been getting a lot of criticism in the last couple of weeks for being stubborn, and he is stubborn, decided, no, I'm going to make a change and take off Maddison, put on Sarr. Now, I'm not going to say that sub went on to win Tottenham the game, but I'll tell you what, Sarr came on, Bissouma all of a sudden started arriving in the 18-yard box and scored a goal off the back of it. So I'm going to say that sub did have a major impact in proceedings, but he didn't do anything. Lopetegui didn't do anything. Very quickly, we found ourselves 2-1 down because of Bissouma. And that was good play by Tottenham. I've seen a couple of the goals. It's good play by Udogie. So the pass from Son to Udogie is fantastic. The cutback's really good. The late arrival from Bissouma's brilliant. Antonio's sleeping a little bit. Not sure I want to blame Antonio per se. I find it difficult to criticise the centre forward for not defending on the edge of the 18-yarder. But our midfielders are in the 6-yard box. Rodriguez and Paqueta have got dragged into the 6-yarder by the likes of Kulusevski, which is given the space for Bissouma, and no one's picking him up whatsoever. It's just a really good goal by Tottenham. But they made it 3-1 within minutes. At 2-1, substitutes got ready quickly. Somerville, Solar, someone else came on. Alvarez, them 3 were all ready, but they weren't allowed on yet. They had to just wait because Tottenham are going to go make it 3-1. An own goal, just complete comedy at the back from West Ham. Another stupid kick by Areola. Honestly, his kicking was atrocious today. I've seen Oscar Pistorius kick a ball better than what Areola was doing today. But his distribution was awful. I thought he was a fucking every driver or something out there today. The crap pass to Paqueta, lofted 50 yards so the centre-backs can see it a million miles away. Paqueta stood there, decides to stick his arse out and try and protect the ball the way he had been all game and lost it all game. Decided, no, it's going to work this time. Shot caller to everybody except Lucas Paqueta. It didn't work. Tottenham won the ball back. Son releases Kulusevski, gives it back to Son. It's an okay save by Areola. It hits Todibo and goes in the back of the net. I mean, sum up West Ham's defending, why don't you? And to me, Todibo was fantastic against Ipswich. But there was a reason why some people said, but it's only Ipswich. Because he goes to get turned inside out, this time by Son. He gets the ball, he's running at Todibo, he's going right, going left, going right, going left. Todibo's, well, he wanted to move to Juventus. Son practically fucking sent him to Turin. He might, off you go, mate, there you go. Bang, past Areola. Witabic's wrists is at it again. That's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh because Areola made a world-class save from Pedro Porro's shot in the first half. Out with all his dodgy kicking. that save from Porto was outstanding at such a pivotal point as well. It was an incredible save by Areola, so it's a bit harsh. And the Kulusevski one gets a hand on it, but when you see the angle from behind the goal, you can't really see it. It's difficult for him to see. He sees it late, but he should be doing better for the fourth one. It's weak from Areola. It's not his fault that we got beat. His distribution was crap, and it was a bad game. But his goal was getting peppered today by Spurs. 4-1 Tottenham. I think we made the subs at some point anyway. Not that any of them done anything, to be fair, but it all, I say, fell apart. It got worse. It went from bad to really bad when Mohammed Kudus lost his head. Just a moment of madness from him. I get he's frustrated, but this is the second game in 3 now. Chelsea, not Chelsea. Was it Chelsea? Yeah, it was. It was Chelsea. And then this one. It's 2 games in 4, sorry. 2 games in 4 now, where a West Ham player have lost their head. Edson Alvarez on Cole Palmer, now Mohammed Kudus. He kicks Van de Ven twice, really. That's probably a booking in itself. Gets up, decides to slap him in the face, gets pulled away, decides to slap Sarr in the face. He's completely lost the plot. It was a red card all day long. I'm surprised the referee had to give the yellow card and then go check VAR. How he didn't give the red card immediately, I don't know, but 3-game ban minimum for him now. So that's without Kudus until, this is the worst thing, until after the next international break. We don't see Mohammed Kudus until the end of November, 5-6 weeks away until we see Kudus in a West Ham shirt again. It's ridiculous, absolute stupidity from him. There's no excusing it. Yes, he's frustrated. Yes, he's pissed off. Who wasn't? But it doesn't mean you can go start slapping people around the pitch. That's just, when this full-time whistle goes today, it's done. Get back to the training ground and get things sorted. Well, Kudus made it that we can't do that with him. He can't. It's not game over for him at full time because he's now got a 3-match suspension, at least. I wouldn't be surprised to look at it again. You could debate. There's 2 red card offences in there. It was just absolute stupidity. Now, we haven't lost the game because Kudus decided to go start slapping people. But like I said, this is the second time in 4 games that we've had a sending off. That's not good. The fact that the players have just got no discipline whatsoever. Is a lack of leadership from Jared Bowen? I don't know. Is that a lack of leadership from Lopetegui? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But what I do know is we've had 2 red cards in 4 games now with players either kicking the shit or slapping the shit out of the opponent when things aren't going our way. That's not a great look, because if we're going to start doing that, we're going to be having a red card every other week because it's not been going our way for quite some time now. Absolutely horrific from us today. The one thing I was going to say, I wrote this down when it was 1-1 at the start of the second half. I wrote this down. The commentators, well, maybe it's 2-1 or 3-1 or something. The commentator said, "Oh, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to be patient with Lopetegui, because when you change your style, you've got to be patient." What change of style? I'm not seeing any change of style. That first half was out the David Moyes playbook. Now, I'm not against it. Moyes did well against Tottenham. We won there last season. To use the same tactics again would be wise. Tottenham are still playing the same way as they were last season when we rocked up and got 3 points. If anything, it would be daft to not do that. But to say, oh yeah, but when you've got a change of style, where is it? I'm waiting to see it. The only thing I've seen that was different today is that we got beat by Tottenham instead of actually having a game with them. If that's a change of style, I don't like it and I don't want it, and I won't be patient because I don't want to see us get whooped by Spurs. But up until that red card, there was nothing from our players today. Nothing. Like I said, clueless in the dugout, and absolutely lack of fight on the pitch. It's a bad combination. Lopetegui got his arse handed to him by Ange Postecoglou today. I did not enjoy that at all. Yes, stupid me for thinking we'd win, but I'm not going to apologise. We usually do well in this fixture. We usually get up for this fixture. Not today. They look like they couldn't be arsed. They look like they couldn't be bothered. What's going on? This guy's been here. Like I said, when managers come in, you normally get a new manager bounce, a honeymoon period. This guy's honeymoon period was when we were in Austria and we drew with Ven and Sarr, or whatever the bloody hell they're called. And then we beat Dagenham in Redbridge. That was this guy's honeymoon period. That was it. The bounce, the new manager bounce, was a winning pre-season against Dagenham in Redbridge. We only won 1-0. Just terrible today. Absolutely terrible. The players just gave up in the second half. Honestly, it looked like it was an end of season game. There's games last season at the end of it, end of the season, the end of everyone knew it was the end of David Moyes' reign. Everyone knew it. Moyes had given up. The players had given up. It looked like that. First 45 looked like prime David Moyes. Second half looked like the end of David Moyes. Just that lack of care, that acceptance that we're just going to get stuffed today. I absolutely hated what I've seen from West Ham in the second half. I'm not happy at all. Not happy. Normally, I like to say which players played well because there were one or two good performances in there. Maybe not because of the second half, but in the first half, I felt there was some players with good performances. Rodriguez, I thought, was surprisingly good in the first half. His pass for Emerson that led to the goal was fantastic. Some of his passes was brilliant out there today, Rodriguez. But I don't know, man. This just since like the first game, really, even in pre-season to some extent, it's not felt quite right at West Ham with Lopetegui coming in and post David Moyes, and you know the club did their whole squabbling thing when we were losing games before we drew against Brentford. There was all the blame game going on. It's going to start again. I'm telling you now, on Monday, the blame game is going to be in full throttle. Fabrizio Romano's going to be getting a phone call. That Spanish journalist whose name I can never pronounce, initials GB, him, Lopetegui's mate, he'll be getting a phone call. Sullivan will be on the phone to Claret Hugh. The blame game will be in full swing from Monday onwards. But not one of them are off the hook for this one. And I include the players in this. Everybody at the club's got this wrong today. Everybody's contributed to today's performance and the reasons behind today's performance, in my opinion. I wish I could sit here and say, bad day at the office, Man U next week, we go again. But that would be a lie. I'd be pretending. It feels like, I don't know, bad average couple of months at the office, if you like. And this is why when non-West Ham fans look at West Ham recently, they go, the results look all right. And they do. They're not the end of the world. The games we've lost, the games we've drew, and the games we've won. It's not that alarming. It's okay. It's maybe what you'd expect. But it's a bit like having a really good-looking car. And then when you lift up the bonnet, there's fucking no engine. And it's a bit like everyone's looking at the car going, hey, nice car. Yeah, the bodywork's fantastic. But I'll tell you what, mate, we ain't going anywhere. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear. This is bad. This is bad. I'm not happy at all with what I've seen today. And the worst thing is, I think there's more things to come off the back of this. Like I said, the blame game's a way to start, so on and so forth. No Kudus for 3 games. Absolute stupid. Not good enough from anyone involved at West Ham today. Right then, fan cams. If you want to get your fan cams in, if you want to get involved, give us your reaction. We'll put up on one of the YouTube channels. Details in description below. Go just record it in landscape. We transfer it to hammerschatpatron@gmail.com. We've got a sale on if anyone fancies it. It feels a bit pathetic promoting this, but we've got a sale on. Go to hammerschatstore.com. It ends tonight at some point, 10 o'clock. Whenever I can be arsed pushing the button, I'll turn the sale off. But if you fancy it, get involved. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe to the Hammer Chat. I'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be live to see what you guys are saying in the live chat. So if you're kicking around tomorrow, come join me. Hopefully, I'll be a bit calmer. But fuck's sake, West Ham.